Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's fascinating because I think you brought up a really good point about how you were working a job, scary market, needs supplemental income. Because we all sit here and we're like, oh, a job's so safe. But a job's just one income source for one activity. If you don't have other activities, it becomes a scary place where it's like you could get laid off and then things could go sideways. And people don't realize that. Um, yeah, because it happens so often. It happens all the time. And with you, when you considered that, let me explore the franchising world, it kind of made me think about it because you're like, oh, there's a lot of mistakes people make. It's the same thing when people buy a house for the first time or real estate. They're like, who's the plumber? Who's the this guy? Who's the that guy? Who's the electrician? Who's the this? You build out your teams eventually, but if there's a pre-built team, it makes things a little bit easier.
Yeah, it definitely was a whole lot easier doing the franchising world and getting into the franchising thing as opposed to doing it yourself. And the job, you're correct. I mean, we had people getting laid off constantly over there at the semiconductor industry, and that's actually why me and Robbie left because we both finally got laid off on that.
Yeah.
I think one of the managers finally realized what I'd realized a while ago was that my heart just wasn't into the job anymore.
Yeah.
Going from 7 to 5 every day, that was
It's a
getting
lot of
old.
hours.
Yeah, yeah. I did restaurant management for 15 years and 50, 60 hour work weeks were normal. And then I did the semiconductor business for 15 years. And they wanted you, at your desk at 7 a.m. and they wanted you at your desk until 5 p.m. And that's Monday through Friday. And then I had a team over in China that I was working with, so I'd work some hours in the evenings. And after a while you start thinking, there's got to be something better out there. That's getting old. And after reading Robert Kiyosaki's books, Rich Dad Poor Dad, I realized I was. Corporate career got ruined. Manager said, "You're gone." Robbie was gone. Robbie took over the all of our other businesses for us, and I said, "I'm going to go in another route." And that franchising, it was just the guy that I first started with, Dennis Schooley for Schooley Mitchell Telecommunications Consulting. He set the stage for what franchising was all about. He had
Yeah.
all the training down completely on that. 100 different ways to get clients, who to talk to, how to talk to them, he had people that will go and make phone calls for you to set up appointments for you, so you didn't necessarily have to do that part.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, everything was just right there in place. So, and then in addition to that, as I was investigating the franchise, I talked to all those other franchisees. So I had those people as friends, as partners that would help me grow as well. So I could call upon them if I had any questions. We got a phone caller. How's the phone callers working for you guys? Do you have a specific one that you like to do? So all of that stuff was there, just like with the dry cleaning. If you need to fix something or do something, we didn't know. But if you went into a franchise dry cleaning, well, that's easy enough. You call the franchisor or call one of the other franchisees. Hey, who are you using for this in that area? Where do you find people to hire? Where do you do this? Where do you do that? Always right there, and always have an answer immediately.
Yeah, so it's kind of like that community, but it's also an ease of access
Correct.
because majority of the time as a business owner by yourself, you're like, I'm on an island. Who can I trust? Because you're not going to go to your employees and say, hey, I have no idea.
That would be This is true. And yeah, you have a whole team, you have a whole tribe of people that are helping you grow on that because most franchises, probably about 98, 99% of them have territories that are just for you that no other franchisee can come into. So you're never competing with any other franchisee. So everybody's helping to grow the name in the business and build that up together as a team. Great team camaraderie on that one, if I can say that.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I've known a few people who did School Mitchell because it's an interesting area to be in and it's an interesting space. And there's a lot of it comes down to that monthly like recurring revenue when you start looking at the different finances and how the models work because you know this and I think it's a an interesting thing for the audience to realize is that there's a lot of businesses that run differently like for example a dry cleaner, let's use that for the model you talked about before. People will come and they'll go, and as long as you do good work they should return theoretically, but they still have to do the activity. Like with the telecommunity, with the telephones, I'd imagine the retention on when you get someone using their telephones, they're not going to switch too often. So there's just some businesses that have better models. Did you find this as
Yeah,
well.
true. That's very true on that. The telecommunication consulting is what Dennis Schooley Mitchell started off with back when I was doing it about 10 years ago. And when you're thinking, oh, so you can help me save a few dollars on my phone bill. Well, you got to think about the fact that businesses like automotive dealership, think of all the phones and all the extensions there. Those are huge business lines, and those businesses are not going to think about their phone lines or their transportation costs or their paper costs. So it's more a cost reduction type franchise. So you take over as the person that is going to be doing that for them on that. So you give them the same or better service, or find them the same or better service for a lower price, and you share um, in that cost savings for them. And then you are their trusted partner. You're their phone guy or phone girl, as the case may be, or their transportation person on that one. So it's a great business model, and there are different types of business models out there in franchising. Pretty much franchising in the industry you can think of.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other cool thing about it is that when once you become that person, they can depend on you for other things, where you can refer things out or refer people in. It it becomes a win-win environment when you're working with good people. Yeah.
Exactly right. Exactly right, Jordan. You're their trusted person. Everybody likes to have someone that they can trust that'll make their life easier, or make their business operations easier, make things run smoother. So they have, as the owner of the business, they're one less thing for them to have to worry about, and they love it.
Yes, absolutely. Because there's so many different things as a business owner